All right, we're going to talk about SPYPOINT cameras real quick for a minute. I've got SPYPOINT cameras out on my farm. I use their older cameras, the Link Evos. They can take pictures, they can do video, and they can do time lapse. I feel like they've got a lot of problems. Every time the cameras need an update, the firmware update, the cameras go off. Every time they lose connection with the cell phone towers, the cameras go off. And what does that mean? If you call customer support, they're going to tell you to go out there, turn off the camera, put a new SD card in it, reboot it, reset it, all this stuff, and then you'll be up and running again. It's a pain in the ass if you don't live on your property, because then you got to travel out there to switch out cameras, or you're paying a monthly service for something that you can't use. So that kind of sucks. So about 4 or 5 months ago, I switched from a Link Evo. I bought a new one of their Link Micro Solar ones, the LTE ones. It's this one right here. This camera is very basic. Doesn't do video, doesn't do time lapse, no sound recording. It just takes pictures. The pictures will get sent to your cell phone camera and a little thumbnail, and it also stores on a little micro SD card inside that you can swap out, take the high definition pictures off of the camera if you want to. Otherwise, you'll just rewrite over top of that SD card and you never have to go out there. I've had one of these out. All the other ones are the Link Evos. This camera right here, I have on a feeder. Since it's been out, I haven't had to touch it yet. Not for battery problems or not for software issues or connection problems. It does have an updated antenna. I don't know if that's helping or not. But this solar panel recharges their built-in lithium battery inside this camera. With the app on your phone, you can regulate how many pictures this thing takes, just like all the other cameras. What that means is it can take 1 picture or 2 pictures every time there's detection in front of it. Or you can change the time interval in between pictures. So if you're at a feeder, if your camera's facing a feeder and you don't want it to take pictures instantly and constantly, every time a deer's moving its head or moving around, you'll load up the whole card. It'll be using a lot of battery usage by doing that. So you can slow that down and take a picture every 5 minutes, like a 5-minute gap in between, or 1 minute gap, or 30-minute gap, or whatever. So you can regulate that. That's what every camera. And also you can regulate how many times it transmits to your phone. You can do it on each detection. So every time there's movement, there's a little bit of a delay and it'll send that thumbnail to your camera. Or you could slow it down to 12 times a day, 6 times a day, or whatever. So by using that app and doing that and playing with the camera, this solar panel has charged this battery for me the whole time. I've not had to change it yet. So when it's in the 90s, when the battery's like in the 90s and I see it start getting down lower and lower, like close to 80, I slow them pictures down. Don't send it to me 12 times a day. I slow it down to 6 times a day. And that gives this sun time to charge this battery. So the whole time this camera's been out at the farm, it's never gone down 90% battery strength, which is great, because on my Link Evos, I can put the rechargeable lithium battery inside it. I can use AA lithium batteries in there. I think it takes 8 of them. Or you can use your cable and hook it up to a little 12-volt battery, which is what I do. Don't matter. It doesn't matter. That crap's going to go dead in a few months no matter what if you're getting pictures and it's transmitting. So every time I'm on my apps and at home and I'm watching my camera, I'm like, oh no, the battery's going down to 70%. Oh, it's down to 60. As soon as it gets near 50%, done. You're cut off. 50%, it ain't even working no more. You're like, oh, I got to go swap out the battery now. So you're wasting more time swapping out batteries on your cameras, or every time there's some kind of firmware update, your cameras are shut down until you go reset them. So with this camera, because it's so basic and that solar panel, you can get rid of all that. Almost, not 100%. I don't know what's going on with firmware, if that ever affects this yet or not. I've only had it out for a few months, maybe 4 months. So I haven't had to do anything to it yet, but it's definitely worth it. This is the packaging. This is how it comes. What you want to look for with these is make sure that it says LTE on it. Make sure it has LTE, because when these first came out, I don't think they were LTE, and they might have had some issues. So this is, I believe that this is the newer version of it that uses the LTE phone service, and it seems to be working really well. So inside the box, you get your camera, your little strap, the battery, and your little charger. That's it. It's basic. It's so lightweight. It's like a piece of plastic. There's like hardly anything to this. The solar panel is heavier than the whole battery housing. It's like top heavy. Once you put the battery in, it won't be. But here's a neat feature that a lot of guys don't talk about with cell phone cameras or with trail cameras in general. When you open up this door and go inside, All you got, there's no LCD display or none of that. Very simple. That's what I want. On off switch. The battery, and right here is where your little micro SD card goes. Now, why is that significant? Because it's all inside the waterproof housing. It's got a rubber gasket on this thing. Once you close this thing and clip it closed, you can see how they added this hoop on here for a locking cable. So you slide your locking cable through that and then through the housing of the camera, and you can lock it to a tree with a cable, and it keeps it locked closed. So no one has access to anything inside, which is good. Some random person walking through the woods can open up your door on some cameras and maybe take your batteries, or on some cameras have on the sides access to your SD card. In this camera, everything is on the inside with that added locking. Now, that's great. I like that. But one downside, which I haven't had to deal with yet, is if for some reason the camera stops working and you have to go check it out, or you want to take out the SD card to withdraw those HD pictures and download them to your computer, you will have to unlock your cable yourself to get your SD card out. But that's minuscule to me. That doesn't even matter to me. All I want is my pictures. I want to know what's going on out there. No videos, no sound, no time lapse. I want a simple camera I can use for surveillance, security, or just to see what's out there. I don't need to watch a 10-second clip of a deer walking past or listen to a squirrel jumping on leaves. So the least that could go wrong is better. Least is best in my view. So the camera, this Link Micro Solar LTE for me has been working out great. So I'm going to swap all the Evos out and replace them with this. Now, another good thing with SPYPOINT, it has auto renewal. If you put your credit card in to get that yearly service, I would recommend paying it for a year. If you pay it for a year, instead of $15 a month, it's down to $10 a month. So $120 a year, you get unlimited photos. Put that sucker right on a feeder. Let it take as many pictures as you want. They got to send them all to you. So take them all, but watch your battery. Regulate with the solar panel, regulate your pictures so you don't drain your own battery. So for $120 a month, you can operate this. $120 a year, you can operate this picture unlimited. Now, there's also a benefit to that. If you have multiple cameras, what you want to do is join the SPYPOINT club, or whatever the heck they call it. Go on the site, look at it. I don't even know what it's called. But if you join that club, you get 20% off each data plan. So instead of $120 a year, I think it takes it down to like 90 some bucks. So I think you need like 5 cameras in order to make up that $99 subscription fee for their club. So for $100 a year, you become a member of the club. It gives you 20% off camera. Do the math. If you get enough cameras, you're saving money. Instead of paying $120 a year, you're paying $90 some a year. So we can pay for that subscription. Another benefit to the subscription, you're in their club, whatever, and you might get some free crap out of it if they do their monthly drawings and get some free crap. So a quick video on the SPYPOINT Link Micro Solar LTE Bloom Bloom Blam. Simple camera, takes pictures, that's it, to your cell phone. Regulate your battery with the solar panel. Join the club, get the discount, and a lot less problems.